Really good to see you.
You too.
You told Grandma you were going fishing again?
Maybe. The best things in life keep going. That's why I got a Subaru too.
Introducing the all-new Crosstrek. Love is out there. Find it in a Subaru Crosstrek.
Hi, I'm Mike Ditka.
And I'm Johnny Bench.
And we spent our whole lives around professional sports taking hits.
And catching our fair share of aches and pains.
Which is why we use Blue Emu's pain relief products.
Blue Emu products, non-greasy, deep penetrating formula that works down into your muscles and joints and works its magic.
It's comfort that won't leave you smelling like a football gym bag.
Or an old catcher's mitt.
Or a shower mat in the locker room.
How about an old pair of socks after an extra inning game?
Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink.
Working hard to lower your LDL bad cholesterol? Not making enough progress? You eat well, take the highest dose statin you can, but still aren't getting where you need to be. Now there's Repatha, a different way to reduce LDL and get on the path to dramatically lower numbers. Repatha works differently than your statin to help clear LDL. Repatha plus the highest dose statin drove down LDL an average of 71% more than a statin alone.
Do not take Repatha if you are allergic to it. Repatha may cause allergic reactions. Signs include redness, severe rash or itching, swollen face, or trouble breathing. The most common side effects include runny nose, sore throat, common cold symptoms, flu or flu-like symptoms, back pain, and redness, pain, or bruising at the injection site.
Added to a highest dose statin, Repatha lowered LDL below 70 for up to 90% of people. Ask if Repatha can get you on the path to way lower LDL.
If you drive a personal car for work and don't track your business miles, you could be losing thousands of dollars, unless you have MileIQ by Microsoft. It's the app that automatically detects all your business miles so you get a great deduction or reimbursement. MileIQ provides comprehensive reporting that shows you how much you save with each drive. The average MileIQ subscriber deducts $575 a month. That's $6,900 a year. So take control, download it for free, and join the millions of drivers who trust MileIQ by Microsoft.
Look, isn't that Frank Thomas?
Oh, the big hurt.
More like the big hunk.
Yeah.
Wow, Frank Thomas.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. You look like you could still be playing. That's what I said.
Well, I am feeling stronger and leaner.
So, Frank, what's your secret?
I discovered Nugenics.
I wish my husband did.
It's easy. Just send a text.
If you're a guy or a freak, text 321-321 and enter the word KNOCK to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenics is a unique man-boosting formula powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help boost your free testosterone levels, to help you feel stronger, leaner, with more energy and drive, more passion, too.
Here, try a bottle. And trust me, she'll like it, too.
Text 321-321 and enter KNOCK to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenics. Samples are not available in stores, so text 3.
Ginormous tornado.
A typhoon is a hurricane that spins counterclockwise. I know it's stupid, but it only happens in the Pacific.
Why would you write that down? You just listen for the keywords.
Half a second.
A typhoon is a mature tropical cyclone that develops in the western part of the North Pacific Ocean.
My memory's not that good.
Thank you for the scientific description. Love it. Oh man, I'm having fun with you guys.
So wait a minute, did we already change the name of the channel?
Yeah, White Rabbit here. How's everything going? I had to take a little quick break. Any updates? What I missed?
I don't know, but Nick, have a safe trip to Florida. I'll be on here in the morning when I wake up. Windy City, you play it safe going up there where you're heading. Y'all don't be falling asleep. Pull over when you get tired. Get some coffee in you, whatever you got to do. You guys have a safe trip.
We found out what a typhoon is.
The wind is blowing hard. The first hurricane's about to hit Puerto Rico.
Definitely heard.
So we're being broadcast live with a little bit of delay at Live Cams, Hurricane Irma, Cat 5 Tracker, Cajun Navy Dispatch. Y'all check that.
Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Yeah, it's just terminology. Yes, I know what the technical definition is, but because the U.S. is like, oh snap, about anything above a 5, I guess, for lack of a better terminology, all the news stations here have been saying, yeah, if it goes too much higher, that they're going to start labeling it that way. They're also calling it a buzzsaw, which is not something I ever wanted to hear.
I'm not into selfies, especially audio.
Yeah, I've heard them trying to, or saying they were going to label a super typhoon as well here in Georgia. So.
Well, what's sad is that this is supposed to be a great, awesome channel, but it's not right now because we're not really doing anything during the storm. It was a great, awesome channel for routes, and even then, when it was all business, I couldn't take my ears off of it. But now we're just cutting up. I don't know why people want to listen to this.
I vote we call it a Super 5.
You guys are the best, honestly.
Super high sounds better. Definitely heard.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go to sleep. I hope you like pass it well in the hurricane and just stay safe. Bye.
Okay, wait, what is it? Hurricane Irma, blah, blah, blah? What? The live broadcast? Because the funny thing is this is sort of all like post-action, like everyone is decompressed, gearing up for the, or spinning up for the next move. So, it's not obviously as utilitarian as it was, but it can be. Again, I find this friggin' hilarious.
I think we should call it a hornado.
Stay safe down there, Husky. Good luck with everything. Stay safe.
Okay, tornado.
Tornado. Horneado.
Wants to throw into Congress's court the idea of comprehensive immigration reform. You know, the short history of this is that was on the way to happening before the 11 attacks. President Bush understood the issue, had the political capital to really pass it, and then, of course, it all fell away after the 9/11 attacks. He only tried to revive it in his second term, but he was so hobbled by Iraq that the fissures within the Republican Party that are there today and that exploded in Trump's candidacy came to the fore. So I don't think Congress has the appetite to do that. I'm caught up, and to that point, President Trump, strikingly to me, is such a bystander with Congress. If he wants to lead on this issue, then lead on it. But instead, he's not unreasonably kicking it back to Congress for them to actually resolve it, but without any leadership attached to it. And I wonder, like you did, Chris, earlier this morning, when he talks about, I'll revisit the issue. This is not a president who's afraid of expansive executive power. So he may come back and effect some sort of compromise by executive action, because I don't think he wants to be responsible for deporting dreamers. He has other goals with regard to immigration. But I do think what's striking about all this is that the political calculation for Trump, such as it is, I think is trying to deal with the genie that he unleashed in terms of the nativist right with regard to immigration, and trying to manage that against his own views, which are far more moderate than that.
And also, though, he handcuffed himself now, David, because having his attorney general go out there and strongly say, well, we have to shut down DACA because it's unconstitutional.
Right.
Now what is he going to do? You talk about beleaguered Jeff Sessions. He'll really be beleaguered if the president then decides to act in an executive way to do what would be considered the right thing to many, you know, protecting these dreamers after it's been found unconstitutional. How do you swing that?
Well, I mean, he's contradicted Sessions before. I mean, I don't think there's any question that he would do it if he had to. But I come back to this point of, if he wants Congress to lead on this, you heard the White House say this in the briefing yesterday over and over again, you know, he's outsourced all of this work. And whether it's health care, we're going to see what he does on taxes. But the president has positioned himself as the leader of a movement outside of Washington. He is a Republican president with Republicans in control of the government, including Congress, and yet he doesn't drive. And that's what I keep looking for. When are you going to drive and be accountable for what
That's what
Republican
Rubio just
government is
asked him
doing?
to do. Marco Rubio tweeting, I mean, he has, some mastery and life experience with this issue.
Yeah.
And he has said, be very clear what bill you would sign, Mr. President. They need direction.
On the other hand, yes, but on the other hand, it's not as a clear history on this in terms of his own actions in Congress in terms of the Gang of Eight. So
I mean, none
One
of
of the reasons he's not president.
Right. One thing I do want to say, though, in terms of what David said, that the president, sort of stirred up a nativist base and that he has far more moderate views. I would disagree with that to some extent. I think the president has more moderate views when it comes to DACA. I think that on everything else, I think that he generally has some gut impulse where he means what he is saying. I think that this is somebody, if you look at what he has been saying for 30 years, everything is all about sort of pull up the drawbridges. We're getting ripped off in one way or another.
Yeah,
I don't think this is not hugely out of character, and this is actually the problem is that this isn't just some part he's playing, which is what Paul Manafort famously told other Republicans. There is a part of him that believes this. It's just there's a part of him that doesn't believe that kids who didn't do anything wrong and shouldn't have to pay for the sins of their parents, which I think is not, without irony on his part. Being said that, given this is somebody who is seeing his daughter get beat up on this issue pretty aggressively.
Having it both ways isn't unusual for him either.
No,
to say we got to pull up the drawbridges, but then hire that kind of labor, outsource it to those types of markets.
Well, and also just one second, David. Not taking a firm position on anything is also not new to him. He basically, his whole strategy in the campaign was being as vague as possible so that different people would read into his comments, and reporters would basically have to offer him a menu of options to try to pin him down, and even then it often wasn't successful. This is, again, one of these issues that it's not like this is a messaging issue. People are going to know if they're going to deport it or not. The end.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally a fair point by Maggie. I guess what I'm saying, partly because he's been vague, partly because he has not shown a great appetite for mass deportations per se, even beyond DACA, is why I think there's not necessarily an ideological core, but he is trying to manage a base that again, I think started to really, the conservatives who opposed comprehensive immigration reform back in about 2006 or 7, that was the bubbling up of this, of this movement. And I think he's been uncomfortable about kind of how to manage it.
Guys, stick around because we have other news that we want to talk to you about. Hillary Clinton news. Her new book is called What Happened. It hits store shelves next week. In it, she blasts Bernie Sanders, suggesting that he may not even care that he helped Donald Trump become president. She also has plenty to say about her own choices on the campaign trail and in her marriage. CNN's Jeff Zeleny has a copy of Clinton's book. He has combed through it last night. He joins us now with the juiciest parts. What have you found, Jeff?
Good morning, Allison. You're right. Hillary Clinton is taking ownership to a degree for her stunning loss to Donald Trump in the presidential campaign last year. Now, as you said, her book is set to be released next week, but we purchased a copy from a Florida bookstore late yesterday, and we did read